Monaco Mountains in France, which are part of the French Alps, I believe. And I thought I'll stop here and talk a bit about the KTM 790 Duke. For those of you who don't know, KTM sent me and the bike to Geneva, and I've been riding in the Swiss Alps and the French Alps I rode Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and today is Monday. This is the fourth riding day, and I'm still going to ride tomorrow. I tested the 790 in the UK, and my impression was, out of town it was an incredible bike. In town it's a bit hard work because of the fueling, which I mentioned before. But that is easily fixable, as you know. You can put a full system on it and dyno tune it and do all that. But anyway, we're not talking about that. We're talking about this bike on twisty, extremely technical, narrow stuff, up and down, fast sweepers, hairpins, and it is just absolutely incredible. I doubt I would have enjoyed the ride as much if I had a more powerful bike, let's say on the 1290, because the power this thing has is just about perfect. If you were on a quicker bike, what happens is that you will be tempted to use it, so you'll arrive at corners 5-10 miles per hour quicker. But this thing, man, I just can't explain how well it handles. Absolutely incredible. The change of direction is like as if it is connected to your brain. You think about it and bang, you know, the left rights. I'm very, very impressed. And maybe some of you, and I know it's the minority, will say, he's biased because KTM sent him to Geneva and the bike. Well, yeah, KTM maybe sent me to Geneva, but if you guys know, when I talk to these guys and I say, you don't expect anything from me, and they say, absolutely not. I mean, I don't have to do this. I don't even have to show a single video on it. And by the way, I paid for all my hotels, I paid for all my expenses, the fuel, the food. I don't need anybody for that. So don't think that I have to say that this bike is fantastic because they just lend me the bike. I mean, if I say this bike is garbage and KTM never ever give me a bike again, I don't care. I really don't. I just say whatever I feel, and I gelled with this bike so much that I'm just gobsmacked. If I lived here in these areas, believe you me, tomorrow I will go and buy a 790. I don't need anything more. Some guy mentioned something, what about the stock tires? I didn't even think about them. And when you don't think about tires, it means they are behaving and performing as expected. There wasn't a single incident when I said, oh shit, the tires slipped, or I don't like them, or whatever. They are good tires. The brakes is, you need to get used to it because it lacks that initial bite and you've got to grab them. It's still a two-finger job, but you do need to apply more pressure. But once you get used to them, they work very well. The quick shifter, incredible. I don't use the downshifts auto blipper thing much because I like to regulate the engine torque that I give it by slipping the clutch depending on how fast I want to stop or reduce the speed or whatever. I was riding it in track mode all the time, haven't switched it to any other mode, and regulating the slip, I've got it between 3 and 5 depending, really worked for me. It just gives me so much confidence. Really, really enjoyed this trip, and it was hard work. Day 2, I was on this bike for 11 hours, and I didn't feel fatigued. Don't take my word for that because I'm used to doing these extremely long journeys. I'm used to enduro seats, so to me it was very comfortable that I didn't even think about it. But you guys need to try it for yourself. for 8.5 grand. I don't know how they've done it, but they've done it very well. Suspension wise, people saying, it's standard suspension, it's not adjustable. If it is set up correctly, why do you need to adjust it? I think the suspension works beautifully on the bike as is. I'm very, very impressed.